Remember back in the 2010s when basically every Windows PC felt like a sluggish mess? Hard drives would fill up with random junk, and everybody wanted a magic button to make their machine feel brand new again. For most of us, that button was CCleaner. People installed it, gave it administrative access to their operating systems, and forgot about it. The company behind CCleaner, Pyroform, reported over 2.5 billion downloads worldwide, and a large portion of the internet was also running Avast, relying on it as their go-to free antivirus. In July 2017, Avast acquired the London-based Pyroform. On paper, it looked like a perfect match, a trusted antivirus giant buying up a beloved PC utility to keep our computers fast, clean, and safe. But within a few years, those exact tools would be at the center of two distinct crises. One was an infiltration by foreign hackers, and the other was an extraction of personal data driven by corporate greed. We tend to view a familiar logo or a popular download button as a guarantee of safety. But the events that followed the Avast acquisition show that this brand recognition can be a primary target for exploitation. Right after the acquisition closed in late 2017, security researchers at Cisco Talos sounded the alarm. The official CCleaner installer, the real one, hosted on the company's own servers, was pushing a malicious payload. This is what's known as a supply chain attack. The hackers didn't trick users with a fake website or a shady email attachment. Instead, they broke directly into Pyroform's internal build environment and poisoned the software before it was ever shipped to the public. This flowchart illustrates exactly how the infected 32-bit CCleaner binary operated. Notice the step right here where the malware delays for 601 seconds. That 10-minute pause was specifically designed to evade automated security sandboxes that usually scan new files for just a few minutes. Once the clock ran out, the backdoor checked if the user had administrator privileges. If they did, it profiled the system and secretly reached out to a remote command and control server to receive further instructions. This log shows captured keystrokes from June 2017. Attackers were already inside Pyroform systems, quietly logging exact file paths and administrator actions weeks before the tainted software was even released. Over 2 million people downloaded the compromised version. But the attackers didn't drop their second-stage payload, a piece of malware called ShadowPad, on everyone. They selectively delivered it to just 40 specific computers located inside high-value tech and telecom companies. The general public was never the actual target. The millions of everyday infected laptops simply provided the perfect cover for a highly targeted corporate espionage operation. While the supply chain hack exposed a severe security flaw, a completely separate issue revealed a deep breach of trust by the company itself. Avast actively marketed its products as tools that would protect consumer privacy by blocking third-party trackers. Yet, behind the scenes, they were hoarding an immense amount of user information, accumulating over 8 petabytes of consumer browsing data. From 2014 until 2020, Avast took that data and passed it to their subsidiary, Jumpshot. Jumpshot then sold products like an all-clicks feed, a literal log of every URL a user clicked, to over 100 corporate ad tech clients. And this information wasn't thoroughly scrubbed. Some contracts lacked proper protections against re-identification, meaning highly sensitive personal web habits were being packaged and sold without adequate, informed consent from the users generating them. In early 2024, the Federal Trade Commission steps in. They finalized an order requiring Avast to pay a $16.5 million penalty and strictly banned the company from selling or licensing browsing data for ad targeting ever again. It's a stark reminder of the internet's oldest rule. When a security product is free, your data is usually the real product paying the bills. So what happened to the companies behind all of this? Pyroform, the original creator of CCleaner, was quietly liquidated as an independent entity in the UK, absorbing its operations into its parent company to distance the brand from the fallout. Avast, meanwhile, kept growing. In 2022, they completed a merger with NortonLifeLock, pooling their resources to create an extensive cybersecurity conglomerate operating under the name Gen Digital. But grouping several security brands under one roof doesn't automatically solve the underlying vulnerabilities. Threat intelligence reports from June 2023 confirmed that Gen Digital, the new parent company responsible for protecting millions with Norton, Avast, and CCleaner, was itself breached. They fell victim to the global MoveIt ransomware attack carried out by the Klopp gang. Fines are paid and corporate structures are shuffled, but rebranding a compromised ecosystem doesn't erase the code, and it certainly doesn't break the continuous cycle of vulnerability. Navigating this landscape requires a shift in how we approach our own machines. First, the era of downloading third-party PC cleaners is over. Modern operating systems have built-in maintenance tools that are vastly superior, safer, and completely eliminate the need for legacy bloatware. Second, take a hard look at anything labeled free. Developing and maintaining robust security software is incredibly expensive. If you aren't paying a subscription fee, that cost is almost certainly being subsidized by the silent extraction and sale of your personal data. Third, stop trusting a brand just because you recognize the logo. An official download page isn't a magical shield against supply chain attacks. You should strictly limit the administrative access you grant to any third-party application, regardless of its reputation. We install these programs to keep our digital lives safe, granting them root-level visibility into our files and browsing habits. But as history shows, sometimes the most dangerous thing on your computer is the exact software you installed to protect it.